What's up guys, it is Chris back with another watch video, and today we have part 2 of the Lume battle that I started in part 1 obviously, and I have brought both watches back from part 1 that were sort of tied to win. That is the Zelos Mako 3, and then we have the Christopher Ward C60 Trident. So I'm going to remove these from the screen view just for now until we can pick a winner for this round, and then we will bring those two in to sort of go head to head with the winner from this round. So what do I have on the table today? We have the Atheist Abyssi. This is sort of a wild card. It has does not have a ceramic bezel. Actually, I was about to say ceramic because so many watches have ceramic bezels these days. This actually gets a titanium bezel that is fully lumed. There are giant indices on it. You have giant indices on the dial and on the bezel, and this gets a ton of lume, and I think this is going to be a very good contender. We also have another Mako 3. That is the bronze version of the Mako 3. Again, lumed insert, which is bronze, and then we have lumed indices and hands. Of course, we have the Heimdallr. This is actually a pretty good lumed watch. This is an homage to the Seiko Marine Master. This is called the Shark Master. This gets an ETA 2824 and of course a ceramic bezel. I don't believe the bezel on here is lumed. I have done a video comparing this watch to Long Island watches, and I believe that that was not a lumed bezel on here. In keeping with the original, however, it would be really good if this was a lume bezel because the lume on the dial was very good. Then we have the Alkin. This is a very cool watch. Looks like a bicompact sort of compressor watch, and it is a very nicely made watch actually. I believe this gets a 9039 Miyota movement, automatic movement of course, and it has an inner rotating bezel. I believe that the bezel is lumed and those indices and hands, so we will see that in just a few seconds. And then of course we have a watch that I just recently reviewed on the channel. This is my Eterna Contiki automatic 200 meter dive watch. Lumed bezel, lumed indices, which are huge, and lumed hands. So a very good contender for lume right there as well. So far we have 4 watches with lumed bezels and 2 without. This is the About Vintage 1926 diver watch. This does not get a lume bezel, however the indices are lumed. This is a really nice little dive watch. I believe it's like 40 millimeters, and I believe this also gets a ceramic bezel. However, it gets a beautiful textured green dial. It does not get as much lume as the other watches on the table, but it's a pretty cool watch with a very interesting dial, and this actually gets a mecha quartz. So this is a time only mecha quartz watch. Very cool watch, very nice little case on it too. So what I'm going to do is, as I said, I'm going to charge the watches, and then we will do a lume comparison. Again, because I am making these watches back-to-back, watch videos back-to-back, I am wearing the Bulova Chronograph A. Again, this is the surfboard chronograph, not included in the battle because I don't believe that the lume on here will be pretty bright compared to the straight-up divers watches that we have here. I think that they are really lume focused, so I'm not sure that pulling in the Chronograph A would make any sense. But let me charge the lume on these, and then we will check it out, and we'll choose a winner. That winner will go up against the Christopher Ward and the Mako 3 that I have in the wings. I will probably not include this in the review because it's going to be very similar. However, I haven't compared them together, but I think they're probably exactly the same. But we will shut the lights and do that comparison. Okay, so there you have it. So right off the bat, we could see the About Vintage, not as bright as the rest. This is the About Vintage Turtle. It has a beautiful green dial, but you could see the lume is not very bright. The indices, especially when compared to what's on the table, isn't incredibly bright. You have a pretty decent little lume pip there that's about it though. So that will go aside, not the brightest out of the bunch. So I would say the next brightest, or least brightest, excuse me, ironically, I would say is the actual Eterna. It's either that or the Heimdallr. I can't tell because that Heimdallr is so bright. There is so much lume on those indices, even though its bezel is not lumed. It's still very, very bright. The Alkin is very bright as well, but it's not as bright as the Heimdallr, I want to say. It just the interior bezel is not very heavily lumed, so the Heimdallr actually looks brighter than the Alkin. So I'm going to say the Alkin comes out next. Very cool watch. I really like this watch. It's a thin, a thin diver, and it's actually very well made. Then there is the Eterna Contiki, and sadly, I don't think this really contends with these three watches. I think that the three watches that are here are pretty bright, and I think the Eterna comes out as well. Then I think, unfortunately for the Heimdallr, that needs to come out. Even though it's so bright, it's still missing that bezel, so the other two are definitely brighter. So the Heimdallr comes out, and now I think it's pretty obvious that the Ithyus is the brightest. It is brighter than the Mako version 3, and that's going to tell me a little bit about what's going to happen next. I'm going to bring in the Mako 3 here. I'm going to give it a quick charge, and then I'm going to bring in so this is the other Mako 3, and this is the Christopher Ward. I'm going to take out the Mako 3 bronze version. I'm going to charge these three watches, and they will go head to head. So we're going head to head with the Zelos Mako 3, or Zelos Mako 3, however you want to say it, the Christopher Ward C60, and then the Atheist Abyssi. And so far, I could tell you that the Abyssi looks pretty bright when compared, but let me do a quick charge, and then we will check it out. Wow, I mean, it looks like these are so bright, it's insane. They are very, very bright. And you can see that Christopher Ward is very, very bright, and so is that Mako version 3, but it's almost like it's a flashlight. It's the Ithyus. This is the first time in a lume battle that I don't think a Zelos is winning on my channel. I have to say that out of the three, I would say the Ithyus is the brightest, hands down brightest. So that's the winner. But between these two, it's really hard. I'm gonna go with the Christopher Ward. I think it is the brightest. It's just the shape of the indices on the Mako 3, which makes it look a little bit brighter just on the dial. But overall, I think that the Christopher Ward is brighter. So I'm going to say first place is the Ithyus, second place is the Christopher Ward, and a very, very close third place is the Zelos. Maybe it's tied for second. I cannot wrap my head around the fact that the Zelos is not beating all three of them, but all two of these. But that's what it is, and I think that I am going to go with the Ithyus winning. It is an extremely, extremely bright watch, and you can see it's really holding on too. It has not faded, and the other two have faded a little bit, whereas the Ithyus has not. They have put so much lume into this watch. It is mind-blowing. Anyway, tell me what you guys think. I have not even unboxed this watch yet. I will be having an unboxing for this watch on the channel very soon. I just recently did the Christopher Ward unboxing and the Mako 3. All amazing watches, and I'm thinking about putting a head-to-head between possibly these two watches, but now I'm thinking about bringing in the Ithyus as well. I think doing a comparison between these three watches would be a very good comparison because they have such similar specs. But tell me what you guys think. I want to hear from you. Please add a comment in the description below, in the comment section below. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Please also Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. Doesn't cost you anything extra. Interrupt your Prime benefits. However, like I said, it helps support the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for logging on, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.